that. And well, Murray's really excited about this first beer.
Some advice I can give is like the number one thing is not to be scared, right? These rates are still very reasonable.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Real-tor Talk. I'm Jesse Carlson from Royal LePage Prime, and
I'm Murray Zlakowski from Royal LePage Prime.
And we are very excited to launch this podcast, YouTube channel. We're all over the place. And the reason is because Real-tor Talk is all about connecting with you guys out there, especially how this market has changed recently. You might be sitting at the supper table, you might be talking to your neighbor, and there's a lot of questions that are always out there. And we want to be a reliable source when it comes to home ownership, whether you're looking to buy or sell, or you've got many other different questions. And that's what we're going to do over the courses of our show, is have different people here, experts, because we're not experts in everything. But that's what we're really excited about. Today's first episode, we're going to have Thomas Kaatz, RBC mortgage specialist. So he's going to be joining us in a little bit. But first, a little bit about us and the show. Murray?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who am I? A guy that just jumped into real estate. It's been something I've wanted to do for a lot of years. So I'm just going on just under a year right now into this industry. But prior to that, I had 16 years experience in the residential construction industry as a renovator and working through a distributor. And I found a love for homes and architects and designers and all that stuff. It was great, but I never felt really fulfilled. And then once I started selling homes and realizing how excited people are to buy their first house and do all these things, it was crazy. And it just threw me to a whole new level of understanding that there's some passion behind this for me and that I really want to help connect people with homes.
Yeah, and passion's something that I had when I first started thinking about real estate. I was in television for over 12 years, and then that was a dream job, but things change. And I said, how can I help out other people in ways that I have experiences from? I've moved over 16 times in my life. I've been through
way too many.
It is way too many. But in those experiences, I think it's been able to help me with clients out there, no matter what you're going through, whether everything from an estate sale to a divorce to a new build, a quick move, and that's what I love being able to do every day as a realtor. So we have passion for being real estate. We also have a passion for local. And we really saw that over the last couple of years here in Winnipeg during the pandemic, is being able to support local. And Murray, I know you're very excited about this first one.
Yeah. So today we want to talk about some of the breweries that we have in this city. And we're going to toast with a beer we got from Torque today. But I don't know if you've been to some of these breweries in the Exchange or across the city. They have great food at them. They've got great beers, and it's all local. And they'll even deliver to your house if you really want, which was part of the pandemic and a great thing. I supported them heavily during that. So we can't complain with these breweries, though. I mean, if you're looking at Little Brown Jug, TransCanada, Torque,
fantastic.
The list goes on and on and on. I'm so excited about it because I do enjoy craft beers. It's so much better than drinking a Budweiser. So we're going to toast with these today.
Yeah, first show with Torque and everything like that. And well, Murray's really excited about this first beer. Murray, since you already tried it, it's all right.
Great IPA.
Great IPA. But you know what? That's what we're excited about moving forward on the show, is being able to support local things that we do, like on the weekends and when we're not showing houses. And if you guys have any ideas about great local things that we can try, then we're going to do that. And that's amazing.
I meant to give this beer to Jesse because I shook it beforehand.
Yeah, see? And then I switched the room before. So anyway, so cheers to the first show. Cheers to you guys out there, whatever time you're watching this. So very nice. Okay. So like we talked about, every week, we're going to have different guests that are experts in different fields. So we want you guys to leave in the comments below, or if you see us around the city, if you guys have any topics that you want to talk about, then we can dive into them and help you guys connect with people that oh man, you can tell this is the first show. We'll get you like
there's beer everywhere. Come on,
get you a sippy cup for next time here. Okay, so let's dive right into it. We are going to welcome into the show Thomas Kaatz, RBC mortgage specialist. I love what we've been able to do with technology and Zoom. Yeah, welcome him in, Mary. Yeah. Oh no, he's been waiting. There he is, and he looks better than that screenshot right there. Let's see. It's Thomas. He's more than just a name. He's a pretty face as well. Where is he right here?
At some point.
You guys there?
We're there.
Yeah.
No picture of you though.
But your fans want to see. I mean,
Hang on.
okay.
Just figuring out this podcast stuff. There we go.
There you go. Unless it's a monthly 12-page spread of Thomas Kaatz, then this is our next best thing.
That's Kate's, Jesse. That's Kate's,
Kate's. Okay, so we're jumping in. We're realtors that deal with clients all the time when it comes to getting their first mortgage, get pre-approved, and all that stuff. We see interest rates changing. I think that's a great way to start. Is with the interest rates. We've seen some changes already at the beginning of the year. We're already seeing some more changes as we wrap up this year.
Sure.
The latest change, how's that adapting things up there?
Well, I think, we're seeing a lot of changes in the rates, right? And I think most people, what they're seeing in the news is they're talking about the variable rate, right? So a lot of people with the variable rate, they're hearing that, rates are increasing, they're going to keep increasing, right? I think, some of my advice I can give is like the number one thing is not to be scared, right? These rates are still very reasonable, right? When you're dealing with a variable rate, it's controlled by the Bank of Canada, right? So they'll raise it and they'll drop it, right? So what comes up must come down, right? So we're in a cycle here of the rates are going up and they haven't gone up in years, right? So, they're just going up at this point, right? So, I'm just trying, what people ask me for advice, right? I'm just saying, not to be scared about them. They're very reasonable, especially with house prices dropping, right? Like you're having, house prices drop, 30, 50, 100 grand, right? Depending on the area, depending on, where you're at. So you take that, then it almost levels it out a bit, right? Levels the playing field a bit.
I always like to tell people that, first of all, the banks are not the evil people. I mean, they're trying to help you out because the last thing that you want, and again, buying a home is one of the biggest things you'll ever do in your life. And there's a lot that gets attached to, buying a home. The last thing that the bank wants is for you to say, I can't afford this in 3-4 years.
Right.
And I mean, we're always here if you need to sell your home, but we also don't want to see you after you've bought a home. So again, you guys are trying to cool down. And that's why the Bank of Canada is trying to cool things down because the last 2 years, it was kind of crazy. And I know personally, I'm already starting to see some clients a little panicking because how things have changed. Right. No, absolutely. So one of those things now connected with the interest rates was when people go to get pre-approved or they finally get that home and they have to make that big decision, fixed, variable. And I just went through that. And I'll tell you, after being a realtor for 7 years, that was the most hardest thing that I had to do. So how do you make it easier for people?
Well, you'll have different advice for different people, right? Different stages of life, right? Where you're a first-time home buyer or yourself or you're a repeat home buyer, might be buying your last home, right? Or people are building or whatever. So the advice can always be different, right? Because everyone's going to have a different comfort level for variable versus fixed. I've had clients come in and they refuse to take variable because it's scary, right? Well, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, my payments are going to change, right? All those questions I get asked, right? What I tell people is when you're looking at a variable, over the past 30 years, variable always wins over time. It's always the cheaper option, right?
It's game, right? Yeah.
Right. So right now we're in a rising interest rate, where rates are coming up, right? So, is it the right time to take a variable right now? Depends on your comfort level, right? Does they have the, financial stability where they can, raise their payments for a couple of years while the rates are high and then, reap the benefits later when rates are lower, right? It all depends on the client, right? So some people have to take fixed. They just like, I got advice from mom and dad, they say fixed always, and I've always taken a fixed, it's all depends, right? My job is to talk you through the options and just get the best option for you, right?
Okay, so when people take a variable, just to make sure they understand what's going on, as the rate increases, does their payment go up each time, or does it only hit them on the back end when they renew?
So what happens is you'll have what's called a triggering interest rate, right? So let's say you've signed at 4% and your triggering interest rate is 6.5%, right? Your payments stay the same, right? The whole time. It's just like if the rates go up, then you're paying more interest in your payment and you're paying less principal and your amortization gets longer, right? So what we're seeing right now is people are, getting closer to, their triggering interest rate where they're paying a lot of interest in their payments, and they might need to raise their payments in the next year or two, right? It might not happen, right? You might be just in that comfort zone where the amortization has now been dragged out a little bit. So maybe, on their statement, it might say, oh, you've got 40 years till your mortgage is paid. Well, when rates start dropping, that'll drop too, right? So it's just kind of depending on the size of the mortgage, depending on what rate they initially signed at, is kind of how that works.
Okay. Now you brought up the word comfort. So there's a lot of people that are maybe not looking to sell or buy right now, and they've been comfortable for a while. But then comes up the whole, I've got to remortgage, right?
Right.
The time is coming to that, making that big call. So let's talk about homeowners that are not selling their home or looking to buy, and they're looking at the future. What kind of advice would you give those people as maybe their time is coming up to renew?
Right. So I'm going to use examples of what I'm seeing happen in the market, right? So people are coming up to renewal. They're looking at a few things, right? They're looking at what's going to happen in a couple of years with the change of government, inflation, what's happening, right? And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm seeing a lot of people renew at 2 and 3 years, right? Because they see something, or they've heard, or they've in the news where this is going to be kind of like they'll raise up till the end of next year, right? And then they should start leveling out and coming down a bit, right? So, people are, again, it's all risk-based, right? Like if you choose 5-year, right? And say you signed for 5 years and the rates go down in 2, well, maybe it wasn't the best decision, but it might have been the best decision for you at the time, right? Your comfort level.
I think that's what we're all kind of dealing with. I think in the unknowns of where this world has been over the last, say 2.5 years, but also, and I know a lot of people, and maybe people ask you as well, is where are things going? Well, we don't have that crystal ball.
Right.
So it's what can get you through right now until things are a little bit more clear, whether the recession talk or, how are we kind of getting out of this?
Right.
I think maybe that would be the best move then, or.
Yeah, it all depends, like where you see things going, right? Like I don't know the answer. You guys don't know the answer, right? We're only doing what's best for our families at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to stay in your house, what's the most affordable payment you can get right now with the rate and where you feel comfortable? And then that's, how you do it, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many different variables when people, like, not just the house. Like I know, like I have 4 kids, and you go to the grocery store, prices are starting to change with that. So we're taking so much into effects, right? Absolutely. So last question we'll get for you, and then we'll let you go. Is I know a lot of what I saw over the last couple of years was a lot of investors picking up properties because low interest rates. It was really, a good idea for them, but also just maybe just the average homeowner picking up a rental property, a different form of, hey, that's my little nest, that's my little extra, holiday or retirement fund and stuff like that. So I know I saw that a lot because they were able to afford that rental property. What are you saying if someone was to come to you and they were looking at that idea? Is this still the right time to plan for a retirement, picking up a rental property or a flipper?
Well, listen, I always tell people it's always the right time to buy, right? And there's different reasons for buying, right? Like when you're seeing right now, you've seen, like you said, you've seen flippers over the past couple of years, pick up a property, whip it up quick, and they're now making $50,000 selling it 3 months later, right? I'm not seeing a lot of that now. What I'm seeing is people who want to buy them for like the longer term, right? So what they're doing is they'll buy the property, they're going to get a good deal, right? Like these properties that are sitting, they might be able to get it for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 cheaper, right? Now their rate's higher, but again, your interest rate on a rental is a tax write-off, right? So there is going to be a benefit to you there too, right? The only place you might lose right now is, say, a cash flow, right? Like if you can't charge enough rent to cover the mortgage payment, then that might not be the best investment for you, right? Or it might be because, you're getting it cheap, the house will be worth more in a couple of years, right? So, it just depends on what type of, you want to do. If you're investing, if you're flipping, those types of things, but there's always the right time to do something, right?
No, absolutely.
So is there anything else, Thomas, you want to tell us about what's happening out there before we let you go? Or
listen, if I had a crystal ball, guys, I'd be a very rich man, but I'm not. So
share it with us. Share it with us.
That's right. Yeah.
We'll form a 3-person team and we can just tell the future about everything.
Perfect. Yep.
I can tell you one thing, a crystal ball, I can tell you that the Patriots are not going to win the Super Bowl this year.
I would, as a Patriots fan, I would have to agree with you. We're not there.
Hey, don't worry. You know what? I'll be looking forward to that top 10 draft pick as a Steelers fan myself. So, we'll have something to be happy about when it comes, February, March and into the spring.
That gives something to do for the draft time, right? So
absolutely. Right. Well, thank you very much, Thomas. We're going to put your contact information in the comment section below so people can reach out to you. Like I said, there's a lot of uncertainties and a lot of questions that people have right now. So if they want to reach out to you, that's something they can do.
Excellent. Yeah. Reach out to me anytime. Even if you're not dealing with me, if you got questions, feel free to give me a call.
Awesome. Perfect. We appreciate your time, Thomas. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Have a great afternoon.
Yeah.
Now I want to know how each guest is going to just smack it down, or we kicked them out. You just kicked them out after that?
I just stopped the video.
You just stopped this video.
Now I just put them back in the
See, I don't know if
don't know
people are going to close the screen on us, so they're going to walk away or something like that. So
I don't know.
I'm looking forward to that with each guest, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. And like I said, if you guys have any more questions for Thomas, definitely reach out to him. I know when clients come to me and they ask me certain things, again, we're the experts in as much as we can as realtors. But one thing that we're never going to do is, lie about certain things and pretend like we do know. So that's why we want to bring these guests on.
If we don't have an answer, we're going to tell you we don't have the answer. We're going to go to the experts and ask them for their opinion. And we always have to keep in mind too, in this, a lot of it is opinions because like Thomas said, no one has a crystal ball. No one knows what's going to happen. No one could have predicted COVID the way it happened and just changing everything and, how interest rates have changed and they were so crazy low. And then now, they're trying to stimulate the economy. Now they're trying to reverse that because they're worried about inflation and stuff. So it's just so different out there. So we always want the experts to give us their, we'll call it opinions, right? So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why we want to kind of be your branch. And with Real-tor Talk here and moving forward, like we said before, if you guys have any questions, that's what we want to do. I know as some experiences when I'm showing a home and, if someone's asking me an electrical question, I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. So what I'll do is take a picture and boom, go in my Rolodex and I'm contacting my electrician right away. So, because if you are sitting at home and you don't know where to reach out to, Murray and Jesse, that's what we're here. And we're going to get you guys in touch.
Well, and one of the things that I'm hopefully going to have created by January will be a list of contractors and home experts that can help you in your case of that. And so if you're looking for that and you want that booklet from us, you can definitely message us and I'll make sure I get it to you. But it should be ready to go for January and it's going to go to all my clients, but anyone else that's looking for it, I'd be happy to send it to you because it's a huge asset to have as a homeowner. So we're here to help you with your home in general, not just buying and selling. We're going to help you with everything related to your home.
And I'm going to blow it up in your face right now. I have a list right now. So if you want anybody, I've got the Rolodex right now. And again, it's just from different experiences and stuff like that. So if you guys have any questions with it being during this time of year, I know a lot of people, and from your past job there, this time I'm already starting to think about the winter.
Yeah.
Of doing my basement. So who do I talk to? What do I get quotes for? Because if you start doing that stuff in January, you might be behind the 8 ball. I know I want to do spray foam in my garage. Good luck. Not till January. So you want to get on these things now. So reach out to us and we can see how we can connect with you.
For sure.
Is that all? Is that it? That was our first show. We're in the books there.
Yeah,
I feel bad that we didn't offer Thomas any Toric beer there. But maybe next time. He lives in Transcona. We'll run into him. We're fellow Transconians. So thanks so much for joining us on our first episode of Real-tor Talk.
Yep.
We went well.
Yeah, except for the beer, but that's okay.
Clean up on aisle 1.
Watch for our social handles. They'll be underneath on the YouTube channel there, so you can contact us if you need us or anything like that. We're definitely around and available for you, and we will call you back quickly. So please reach out if you need anything from us at all. Okay, and so here, cheers to our first show.
First show's on the books.
Cheers to all you folks that watch this.
Hopefully we won't get canceled before show number 2.
Take care, everyone.